any interview you're going, you say you have 1 year of experience, 2 years of experience, 6 months of experience, they will expect you to know that you at least know these basic ITSM modules. So what are they? Incident, change, and problem. So that will be again split into 3 sessions, 3 hours. This week and your next week. So probably the next week will be your end of all your sessions. So just make sure that this week and next week will be very critical for you to make sure you go through all the syllabus that's been covered so far, go through your PDI, practice, come up with lot of questions, just try to make sure that you have understood everything. In case if you have not understood something, I can probably spend 1 more hour with all of you to probably answer some questions, or maybe repeat some topics which were not really understood properly, or if you want me to go through it again, I can do it. So please go through the topics and make sure you're thorough with it. After that, you definitely know that we cannot get in touch again, and even if you have questions, it might be difficult. So just make sure you are pretty much up to date with whatever is being covered. Okay, so then today we will start with reports mainly, and we will touch a little bit on the dashboard as well. So, what are the reports? What is dashboard? And we will try to build. We will try to build a new report, and also we will check a few reports which are existing, like out of the box reports. We will just check. We will just try to configure one report, and we will have a demo, and we will close the session. So let me share my screen. So let me know once you're able to see my screen.
Yeah, ma'am, it is showing.
Perfect. So as I mentioned, today we will be covering on reports and dashboards. So what is a report and what is a dashboard? So does anyone over here know what is a report? Not even the dashboard, but what do you mean by a report? What you have understood from your childhood days till now? What do you mean by what is a report?
Full details.
It's like a presentation or something.
Yeah, full details. Like a report is a full details.
For my point of view, report is the result of a task,
Mhm.
and dashboard is some sort of things what is visible in front of you shortly in the mirror.
Okay, all of your understandings are pretty much close to what I'm going to explain. So, a report is nothing but just a visual representation. That's it. That's the end. So, if anyone is going to ask you what is a report, you can just use these words, visual representation. And that's more than enough for them to understand that you know what is a report. So a report is basically like you will have lots and lots of data in service now, right? Like incident table, you will have lot of incidents, you will have lot of problems, surveys requests, you will have lot of catalogs, lot of things. Now, when you want to categorize all of this, when you want to analyze, you want to know how many tickets were, raised in the last week, how many tickets were resolved by our team, how many incidents, high priority incidents were raised last week. So, a lot of things will be there. So, when you have this, the data in ServiceNow is completely stored in form of tables and records in ServiceNow. So, it is difficult for you to go through each and every record and understand, okay, this is the record submitted by so and so person, and it is being resolved on 18th of April. Okay, the next record, okay, this record is being submitted on 14th of April, and this is being resolved by so and so person, and it is closed on 20th of April. So this might be difficult to go through each and every record in service now. Then what you do, if you build a report, So you're trying to collate all the data, you're trying to collect all the data and just put it in the form of an image or a picture. That's why it's called as a virtual representation. Just you visualizing the data in different formats. So let's now go with the definition. A report is a structured presentation of data that allows user to analyze and visualize information from various sources within the ServiceNow platform. So if someone is going to ask you what is a report, it's, you might by heart this definition and you might say, but as days passes it might be difficult for you to remember all these words, how a report is a structured representation of data that allows so many things. So if you can just explain, a report is a structured presentation to visualize the information, or it is just showing us the data in a visual format. That's more than enough. We will know that you understood the concept. So this is to understand, make you understand the definition, like how and what is a report. So let's go through it again. So a report is a structured presentation. So you can see there is a screenshot that is being attached here in the presentation slide. So it is showing some bar. So even in the real time, we will have lot of scenarios, right? Like we will have some elections going on, and in that elections we will be like, okay, how many cities, how many states have voted, what, how many number of votes have been come to this person. So all of this. So basically, if you were in India, you will know how the voting system works. So even to track the data, we can use a report. So a report is a structured presentation of the data that allows the users to analyze and visualize information from various sources within the ServiceNow platform. Okay. Next, report helps users gain insights, make informed decisions and reports. Okay, of course, informed decisions and monitor the key performance indicators. So when a team is using a report, it is very easy for them to track, right? Okay, how much did Imran close? How many tickets did he work on? How many tickets did Tonmai work on? How many tickets have he completed? So all of this, it becomes very easy, and they can also monitor how they are performing and all of that. The next point says reports can be based on data from different modules and tables in ServiceNow, such as incident, task, change, assets, and more. So you can build a report on any table in ServiceNow, any table. So of course, all the tables will have data. So you can run the report on any table. You can build on any table. That's what they're meaning over here. So the screenshot that's attached over here is how when you create a report, how the UI will look like. That's just that. So you can see also there are four tabs: data, type, configure, style. So all these are your configurations. So if someone is going to say, hey Imran, can you build a report for me to understand how I can get the number of closed incidents in the last week, Imran doesn't have to do any kind of scripting. Imran just have to know and understand how he can configure this report. So no scripting is required. You don't have to know scripting, or you don't have to write any scripting lines of code in order to build a report. Just if you have understood how to configure a report by understanding these four tabs, that's more than enough. So, and on the top there is a rectangle, sorry, there is a rectangle which is highlighted. That's basically your filter. Okay, so when we go to the demo part, I will explain you even more in detail on the UI, how it is being user interface, how it's being set up. So for now you can understand that to configure or to create a report, you need to understand the four tabs: data, type, configure, and then style. Now let's move on to the next slide, which is report types. So there are a lot of report types. You can use any report types that you feel is going to be appropriate. So if someone is going to say, take a count of how many tickets were closed in the last week by Tonmoy, then maybe you can just choose a bar or a histogram or a horizontal bar. But if someone has a requirement telling that take a report on how many tickets Tonmoy has closed, and also Imran, and also Sabir. So when there should be a comparison, then you can even choose bar, but I feel more appropriate one would be the pie or donut, or it could be even semi donut. It will clearly show how many, okay, how much Tonmai has closed, how much Imran has closed, and how much is left, like that. So while you are trying to build a report, you will understand how you can choose. So report types, there are a lot of report types. That too, in last two releases, there are few more report types that have come up. So like for example, your bar, your pie and donut, time series. So in time series you have lot of things like area, column, lines, line, step line. Then you have pie and donuts, like your donut, pie, semi donut. So you have lot. So in this screenshot only, there are few report types, but when you go to your PDI and when you check, there are lot of report types. And where do you select your report type? You have those four tabs that I mentioned, right? Like data, type, configure, and style. So in the type, you will be able to choose which type of report you want. Next, dashboards. Basically, dashboards are nothing but they are collection of reports. Just you can remember this, that dashboards are nothing but it is a collection of all the reports that you're going to build. So you can see I have attached a screenshot which has multiple reports. It says the dashboard name says PMO dashboard. So probably it might be project management something dashboard. So you can see there are a lot of reports which are clubbed into one single dashboard. So where you can see all the details, like how many tickets have been closed, how many tickets have been opened, how many tickets are breached, how many tickets are high priority. All of that you can have it in one single place, and you can get an overview
Hello?
of this. So
Hmm.
now coming to the visibility. So only if you
Open
are
files
going to
সকাল
give
11টায়
access or permissions or roles, only then anybody will be able to view
বুঝিনি
your
6টায় থাকে
reports, also your dashboards. If you don't share the dashboard, or if you don't share
না
the
না আমি
report
আপনাকে
with
কইলাম যে
them,
আপনি
they
চাইলে
will
এখানে
never be
মানে
able to
আপনি যদি
see
মনে
your
করেন যে
reports
না
or
আপনার ডিউটি
dashboards.
আছে এখানে
So
আপনি
very
করে যেতে পারবেন
important
সেটা
thing is to,
বলতেছিলাম আপনাকে
you need to share your dashboards and reports if you
মানে
want
আপনি যদি
someone
চান
to
যে ইত্যাদিতে দুইটা
see
বলতে
it.
ডিউটি করে তারপর
Now,
বুঝতে
let's
পারবেন
understand what is
সিডি
a
লাগবে না
dashboard from the definition. A dashboard is a customizable visual
না না
interface
ওইখানে তো কোনো
that
অর্থ নেই
provides a consolidated view of
কারণ
important
আমাদের
information,
কাস্টমারই হয় সন্ধ্যা 6টার পরে
metrics, reports, and other relevant data from various modules and tables within the ServiceNow platform. So, it's basically again a visual interface that provides a consolidated view. Like it could be your reports, it could be some filters, it could be metrics, it could be lot of things put into one single place. Are all of you able to catch what I'm trying to tell? Is everyone with me?
ma'am.
Excuse me. Yes or no?
ইয়া
So you're able to get what I'm trying to tell, right? So dashboard is basically a collection of reports. It will have everything consolidated in one single view. Now, next, let's understand the next part. Dashboards help users to monitor and analyze data in real time, enabling them to make informed decisions and track the performance of their organization's processes. Of course, if you have this, it will clearly show, right? Okay, so so and so person has completed so many tickets, he is performing well. Then if someone has not completed much tickets, then okay, so so and so person has not completed these tickets, they are pending a lot of things. So by just seeing the dashboard or by just seeing the report, you can understand how many tickets have been solved, how they are performing, are they performing good or are they performing average. So all of these things they'll be able to get to know just by seeing the report or by just seeing the dashboard itself. Now let's go to the next slide. Okay, so the home pages and scheduled report and database view, we will probably cover it in the next session, the next 2 hours. We will touch a little bit on the accessibility to reports and dashboards. As I mentioned, if you want someone or anyone to see your report, or to modify your report, or to delete your report. It could be anything. You have to provide them the accessibility. So how is it done? Roles and permissions is the first thing, and another thing is your sharing settings. You have to share your reports and dashboards if you want them to see it. And the second part is, of course, like you have to create roles and you have to give them roles. So anybody who has this role only will be able to see that particular report or dashboard. So you can see that, and also whether it is report or dashboard, the accessibility, that is roles, sharing settings, everything will remain the same. So if you know how to provide accessibility to reports, it is that you have also understood how to provide accessibility to dashboards as well. So let's understand with the definition. Accessibility to reports and dashboards can be controlled using roles, permissions, and sharing settings. As I mentioned, that there are 2 points: roles and permissions, and the second one is your sharing settings. This ensures that the right individuals or groups have the appropriate level of access to view, edit, and interact with these resources. So let's say there are two teams. So one team is handled by Hassan, and the other team is handled probably by Hassan. Sorry, one team is handled by Hassan and another team is handled by me. Okay. Now Hassan doesn't want his team data, or whoever is working, whatever they are working, he doesn't want that data or dashboard to be seen by me. So simple thing, he will not share the report or dashboard with me, and of course he will not give me any access. So remember one thing, that only if you are sharing the dashboard or report and giving the appropriate roles and permissions, then only they will be able to access your reports or dashboard. If not, they will not be able to access your report or dashboard at all. Okay, so this is your accessibility to reports. So this we will be covering in the next session. So we will jump to the demo part. So let's go to the PDI. So can anyone, so right after my instance is loading, can anyone tell me what is this particular frame called as? What is this part called?
Content field or content frame.
Correct. And what is this section called?
Application navigator.
And what about the top part?
Banner.
Perfect. And if you have any profile related settings to be done, you can always go towards your extreme right hand side and you can just access it over here with the preferences, profile, all of those parts. Now, let's go to reports. So I will quickly type in reports. So you can see there is a separate application called as reports, and under reports you have so many modules. So what I'll do first, I will have a look at the existing reports, and then I'm going to click on create new, then I'm going to create a new report. So now let's take a look at the existing reports which are already there. So we will try to understand. Okay, so maybe I will say active requests by priority. So we will just take a look at this particular report. So this report is, oh, there is no data to display. So let me just go back and choose something else. Admin logins. I hope there is some data over here. Okay, no data. So there is some data over here. So if you see data, the name says 30, 60, 90 day desired state task aging. So this particular report is to show that, okay, how many days it has been passed by having some ticket open. Like let's say someone is going to submit a ticket today, until 3 months it is going to show me that this ticket was submitted on this day or something like that. It's been like 90 days, it's been 30 days, or maybe 30 days and it's very new, something like that. This is a report name. So this is a section called as data. So data is one of the important tab which is going to have the report name. You have to give a very meaningful report name, so then it will be easy for you to understand why you have built this report. So this is a report name, and table, of course, which table you want to build the report, and of course the table name. You can have your own custom table built, as we discussed in our first beginning sessions, or you can always use the existing table in ServiceNow. The next part will be your type. So as I mentioned in the presentation, there are lot of report types that you can see over here. You can choose like your calendar, funnel. You can also choose a pyramid. You have count, single score. So all of these are your different types of reports. So under bars you have these four, under pie you have these many, you have time series, multi-dimension scores, lot of options you have. So you can just as soon as you get the requirement, you need to analyze what type of report is going to suit the best. Then you can start having it. So then this is the place where you choose your type and configure. So configure is basically where you're going to add your conditions. Like, do you want to group it by aging level, or do you want to group it based upon who has this ticket, when it was submitted, who requested this ticket for? All these condition based filters, you can just put it over here. And stack by is, of course, when you have additional filters, you can just do it over here. If you want to display a data table, you can always have it also displayed in the table format like this. Okay, so there are around 353 ticket count and all of that. But if I don't want it, I can just remove it and the table will just disappear. So these are some of the options that you have in your configure tab. Then the next tab is your style. So styling is everything related to how it is going to look: colors, font, size, everything. So you can use color palette, you can choose any color you want. You can also make sure that you want the chart size to be small or medium or large. So this became a little big. If I'm going to choose it small again, and if I'm going to run, it became small again. So decimal precision, if you want to give some different title, also make sure you want to make the title to be little catchy, then maybe you can choose a different color. You can always click on run and check how it is. We changed this black to green. So because we chose it over here. If you don't want it to be appearing in the center, you can always have it in the left. You can also make sure vertical alignment to be coming in the bottom. This doesn't look good, so I will put it in the top itself. So all these kind of this thing, you can just start playing around and you will be able to get it. Axis. So everyone knows that in every report we will have x-axis and y-axis. So x-axis will be always your horizontal one, and your y-axis will always be your vertical axis. You can also customize that. You can have some title to it. You can say maybe testing. You can have a display grid. You can also, so you see the testing that I gave just appeared over here. You can have something on your x-axis, y-axis. You can maybe make it the grid as dotted, then or maybe you can change the color. A lot of things, like you see the grid came up. So you can play around with this. It's very interesting and a very nice topic. You don't have to do any scripting. It's very easy. So this section over here, you call it as your configuration part. This is how, if you have understood the data type, configure, style, all these four tabs over here configuring, it's very easy for you to create a report. And this is your playground where you try to build your report, run your report, see how it looks and everything. And the other part is on the top. So when you want to run a report, you click on run. But the changes, if you want, whatever you're trying to do over here, you will be doing a lot of things. And if you clicking on run, it will be showing you. But if you don't click on save, nothing is going to be saved. And when you refresh, everything is going to go away. So when you make any change and you think that you need that change, then you have to click on save. Only then you will be able to see it again. Next one is your delete. So let's say at some point in time you didn't like this report, or some requirement changed, or this is not what you're expecting, you can simply click on delete and delete your report. Also remember one thing, that it's not a best practice to delete any records in ServiceNow. The best practice is to always make sure that you are making the record inactive and not delete it. Then you have this option called as sharing. So this is the accessibility. So this is where you click on share, and you can only say I don't want to share this to anyone and just choose me. Nobody will have access to it, nobody can see this. But if you want everyone, then you can just give everyone. And if even then, if you want them to have some specific roles, you can create some roles and you can give it. So role creation is already being covered in the user and group management session. So if you go through it, we created a group, we also created a role, we also checked how we can map roles to groups, how we can add users to groups. So that is the same role that I'm talking over here. So you can create a role and you can add it over here. Or if you say that I have a specific group, only those group people only should be able to see that, well enough. You can only put that and you can click on OK and you can click on save. This is your sharing option. And the last part is your dashboard. So if I click on add to dashboard, it will give me some options. Which dashboard do you want to add? So I will say change overview. And if I click on add, this particular report will be added to your dashboard, and your dashboard will be seen. So you can add a lot of things. So this is where you can, collate, you can get everything into one single place and have it over here. So let's say I want to add one more report. So I'm going to say widgets category reports, and I'm going to maybe choose this catalog item via render, and I'm going to click on add. So you see, I can add like this multiple reports, multiple filters. I can do anything I want. So dashboard is nothing but a collection of multiple reports, everything in one single place. This is your dashboard. And if you want to share your dashboard, go here, click there are all groups, or you just want to share it with some users, or you want to share it with someone who has only specific roles, you can do that. And if you want to configure some dashboard properties, you can always try to do it over here. You want to create a new tab, you can do it. There will be a separate tab that will be coming over here. Again, you can add anything that you
Which one?
want to here. Towards your extreme left hand side, you can see there are dashboard properties if you
Store
want to
close
change.
report.
Sorry. So you
Yeah.
can add over here. So you can do a lot of things. You can also export this dashboard to PDF. It will be coming in the PDF format, and then you can click on export. Then that particular dashboard will be coming in the PDF format. So there is, if there are some scenarios where you don't
I
want to share.
closed the register. I mean, store closed.
Sorry.
Yeah, I did.
Okay. So when there are some scenarios where you don't want to actually share your report with someone, but you have to, don't you don't have to give them access, but they want to see. So in those cases, what will you do? You will simply
But
download.
I closed the register. I don't know actually what happened. It.
Imran, mute your microphone, please.
Oh.
Okay, so let's say like some you well, like one of your other manager, team manager or someone, they're asking you the report or dashboard, but you're not supposed to share it because they get to see everything. So in those cases, what
Oh,
will you do? You
oh,
will
okay.
like that. You will. I hope Imran, can you maybe ask who is actually
Yeah, I will
unmuted?
do. And I
So
got a
Imran's
day before
microphone is on
yesterday.
mute.
Oh, oh,
You can continue, please.
Okay. So when they are when they don't want, when actually you don't want them to basically like see, then what you can do is you can always share them the report. You can simply just share this report with them. They'll be able to see it.
So we just download the PDF and share this PDF, or we will give the access.
Yes, yes, you can just share, like you can just share, I mean, export the PDF and you can just share it over the email. But
Yeah.
if, let's say, if you're going to put in the share, if you're going to add them over here, right, what is going to happen is they will get access to this entire report. Then they can modify, they can delete, they can do anything they want. So when you don't want them to do that, that's when you will be exporting and you'll be sharing it with them. Then you have, if you want to create a new dashboard, you can always click on new. Then you will be directed over here and you'll be able to get all that. Like, just 1 minute. Sir, one ನಿಮಿಷ ಇರಿ ಹಾಗೆ ಲೈನಲ್ಲಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಒಂದು ನಿಮಿಷ. So when you want to create a new dashboard, you can always click on new and you can give a dashboard name as like test dashboard or any dashboard, and you can simply click on submit. Then you will have a new UI, new fresh window where you will have all empty space where you can add all your reports. Now you can choose your reports, or it could be anything that you want. You can just click adding it. So let's say open request items. I'm going to click on add. It will just get added. Now I'm going to say I want to add one more. I will say maybe open request items by stages. Then that will also get added. So like this, you can build your own dashboard once you have your reports built. Now let's quickly go and build a new report. So reports is create new. So I clicked on that. So now we will say tickets closed by admin group, something like that I will say. Tickets closed by admin group. So how many tickets they have got and how many tickets they have closed, something like this. Data source, of course I will say table, because I am going to build it on the table. Data source is nothing but like an Excel sheet, or it could be data from any different source apart from the table. I am going to choose incident table because that's where we usually get all our issues and all of that. So incident. So this is your data tab where you had your report name, your table, your table name, and your report name is going to just appear over here. Tickets closed by admin group. Next, let's go to the next tab, which is the type. What do you think? Can anyone tell me what would be the best report type that we can choose in order to add it over here? For this scenario, which type should I choose?
Can use time series or virtual.
Yeah, I think the time series would also be fine, but more appropriate one would be the bar. So for now, I will choose the bar. If you don't choose a report type, this is how your data is going to look like. You see, so much of
Hmm.
data in the table. That is how it is going to look like. Now I'm going to choose the bar and I'm going to click on next. The next part is your configure. So the configure will have whether you want to do a group by, you want to stack by different fields and all of that. So I will say I want to group this. Probably I want to know who this ticket is assigned to, what is the assignment group, and of course the state. like when this ticket was closed, whether it is in the open state or closed. For now, I think this is enough. So I will click on OK. Stack by, maybe I will say assignment group should be fine. I will also say display the data table. And now I'm going to, I think I'm done with this. You can also do a lot of group bars or stack bars. You can just play around with this. It's very interesting and very nice. Only if you try to do all of this, you will be able to understand and learn more. So next is the style part. So what coloring you want? Do you want to use a chart color if it is already defined, or we just want to use a several color palette? So maybe something like this. And I will say the chart size to be medium, because I'm not really a big fan of having a very big size chart. I will say a chart title color is black. Okay, center is also fine. I would say maybe the um, title should be little more bigger, so I have changed it. Then legend, I won't touch it. Maybe access is also, I'm fine. I don't want to really put anything because I'm happy with whatever is displayed over here, incident count. So let me go to the general back. Then display data labels. If I give also, it will display up some things like on the report itself. So now I'm going to click on run. So you see, um, here I will maybe choose use color palette only, and I will click on run. There is some grid that has got enabled. So should be fine. Okay, so you can see that this is a report. It clearly shows. So let me say who this ticket is assigned to, or maybe yeah, assigned to, and I will say state. So you can see very clearly that ITIL rule user David Lu, this person has closed so many tickets. Or no, it's just showing like all the tickets, like closed 7 tickets, and open on hold it is one, and in progress is one. And if you see Beth Angelin, she has 5 tickets which are work in progress, and 1 ticket she has closed. So when we want to make this more specific, we will add all these conditions like, okay, Fred Lady. So now when you want to build a report, you can just add like, okay, your user details and all of this will come here because it's on the incident table. Now let me add a filter. I will say it should display only the tickets which are closed. So I will say closed, and I will say run. And of course, I will also save this report. So it will only show the tickets which are closed. So I will say again assigned to, and I will say state. So you can see all these tickets are closed because I added a filter over here. Because I added a filter over here on the top that state is closed. So it will show up only the. Now if I don't want this filter, then all the states will be shown. So your manager says, I want to know only the tickets which are in progress. Then what you will do? You will only go here, choose in progress, click on run, then you will get only the tickets which are in progress. So assigned to, and the state. If you see, so all of this are in progress. If you want to see based upon the assignment group, okay, so this belongs to this assignment group. So Fred Luddy, he has 2 tickets, and one belongs to software, another belongs to some other group. Then Arya, she has 1 ticket which belongs to application development group. So this is how you try to build a report and analyze the report. So building is one important factor, and after you have built, analyzing and checking whatever you have built is right is another important thing. Okay. Now let's try to share this report. Probably I will say I will want to share this report with only one single group, and that is application development group alone. Then I'm going to click on OK. So once I have done this, what happens is this particular report will be accessed only by people who belong to that application development group. Otherwise it's not accessible by any, nobody will be able to see this report. Now let me say I will save this report. So this is your final report. This is how your final report will look like. Now if you want to see how this is going to look, then simple, just go back again in the reports, view or run, open it over here, just type it as in the search tickets closed by admin group, and it is just going to open it in the same view. So this is how your report will look like. And if you want to add this report to your dashboard, simple. Add to dashboard. You have your dashboard over here. We created a dashboard called as test dashboard. We will add it over here. Click on add. Your report is added to your dashboard. Simple. Perfect. Did everyone get what was explained?
Yeah.
Get your report and dashboard. Okay, accessibility as well. So now I will proceed to ask question and answer. So I will just start